Hello, welcome back to today's video. We are going to be painting Nova. This is a C27 miniature, and we'll be using him as a proxy for our Captain Marvel in Marvel Crisis Protocol. So we're going to do like we normally do and start off with the contrast paints. He's going to be mostly contrast paint. I'm going to be full disclosure. He's mostly contrast paints. It is a mess over here and my brushes are pretty gross, but okay. So we're going to get this, nope, not that one. We're going to get our Gilliman's Flesh for his flesh tone, which is just his face right here. It's a very small area. Finger there so it focuses better. I have a new camera, so just testing this out with everything else. Okay, now let's get our little baby brush because we have some little teeny areas to do some contrast into this time. We're going to be using our Ethermatic Blue for his little blue glowies that he has on his chest and his eyes, and that's pretty much it. So let's get into his eyes up here. This is a resin printed miniature. Pretty cool. It's a little more brittle than I like, but I don't know if that's like my fault or what. I didn't print it. I ordered it from Etsy because I don't have a printer. But oh wait, no. Oops, we still want to do this. Let's get the Ethermatic Blue, and then we want to get in his little. I'm going to kind of leave it white in the middle as best you can, so it's kind of like a shining light. Like that. And now we'll go to the red, this Blood Angel's Red for the symbol on his helmet. So let's get here nice and close. It's okay if we go over into this a little bit because we're going to be painting it gold, so it's okay. So just, like I said, the model's a little brittle, so I'm being a little careful around holding it and stuff. There we go. Looks like he still has some support on him. So you might want to try to clip that off, or you try to clip that off really quick. There's a little support hanging right here. And that went right into my eye, so that's cool. There's another one right here. Okay, that's fine. Now for the rest of this guy, it's just gold and blue, which is very easy. We're going to use this Leviathan blue, the same color that we're using for our orcs, because it's a dark blue. I'm not a fan of how this brush is acting right now, but we're going to see. Hold on, I have to check my reference. I have a reference toy. It does, okay. He does have these stripes are gold on his legs, so let's just get this and then start painting on the contrast. you can see how frayed my brush is. I got a new camera. It is more HD, so you can see like shitty brush. So let's actually go into here. Looks like we got a new set of brushes. Let's get that open and then get this guy. Get it wet. Okay. Let's hope that this should do better for us. Part of the brittleness of this model I had already broken. Its leg had broken off of its base a couple times already. So just trying to be careful. See what else in here. I think it's just like trying to figure out what is colored and what's not colored on his boots. Just go all the way through, and the whole back looks blue. I have the Marvel Legends figure that I keep referencing here. So, hit the camera like I do. So let's just fill all of that in right there. And you can see kind of some side bit right there. Feet are also blue. I think this, I don't know, I'm like, is this my first time painting a resin printed model on the channel? I think it is. I know that I have painted like a printed model, like a fully printed model before, and that was those giants that I did a while back. Oops. Did exactly what I didn't want to do, which was hit the little part that's supposed to be gold. It's okay. Nova is one of my favorite Marvel characters. I can't wait for him to like officially be added to the game one day. But until then, I'll be proxying him for Captain Marvel, because it just seems like a easy proxy to be like, oh yeah, that's that character. Plus, like, the pose is kind of the same as hers and all of that. So if I wanted to do it like a tournament with this, I probably could get away with it. Let me just get some more of the foot there. Okay. Let's get the chest. Parts that I'm leaving white will be gold. If you're not familiar with Nova and who he is, this is Richard Rider. He's the last Nova, well, in this part of the series, this timeline, he was the last one. Everyone got killed. He got the entire power of the Nova Force, and he became the Nova Prime. The thing I hate the most about the Marvel movies, which I love the Marvel movies, is how dirty they did the Nova Corps in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I was like, they're not like this. Like, what? And it's just like, hold on, let me just check my model. Like how they had them. They were just kind of like cops with guns and stuff like that, and like spaceships. Like, I was like, no, these guys are strong. They're like, I mean, they're kind of like the Green Lanterns, right, of Marvel, in a sense. I think they're really cool. And they were so done. And John C. Reilly was one of them. I was like, oh man, why you gotta make John C. Reilly a Nova? We didn't ask for that. But I mean, like, I don't know. How they do the powers and stuff is maybe a little different in the Marvel movies. Oh, I need to put blue there. I didn't see those. So like maybe they're trying to like ground it more. And I think like I thought of a way to do it is like they could be like when Xandar had the Power Stone, they could have been researching it for you know to get to better technology and stuff, and then that's how they created the Nova Force. And then maybe they created like some helmets that run off the power of it, kind of like how Red Skull was doing with the Tesseract, and I think like to make them batteries. So like maybe they used it to create like the Nova Force, and that'd be kind of cool. That's a cool way to kind of bring them into the MCU, I think. I heard like a rumor that they are going to be adding it to the MCU, so we'll see what happens. I'm excited. Like, even if it's not Richard Rider, if it's Sam Alexander, like I like the Sam Alexander one too, which is like the newer Nova. It's like a kid, but I prefer Richard Rider because he's the cool one. Let's focus on this one on this camera is definitely a lot different than the focus on the old one. So please bear with me. This is our first video using this new camera, so been away for a while with some family stuff. I like this color on him. It's looking pretty cool. Now we just gotta put it down there. Probably gonna not be able to avoid hitting some of this. Just bear with me for a second. Getting in there. This came printed like on a base that was for itself, like that was built into the model, but I cut it off the base. In case you're wondering if you can't find this model exactly, I did cut it off the base that it was on and put it on like an official base. Just because I didn't like how big the base was on it. Okay, that's all that blue. Let's close that up. Let's go back to the aromatic blue for the wrist guards. The gauntlets really quick. Had some spots on them like that. Same thing here. Okay, and I think that's the same for like the base that he's on. We're gonna do kind of like this blue energy coming out of it. So we can kind of just take this stuff and put it all over, being careful not to touch him with it, or the spots that we don't want it on, you know. So let's just get that. He's got like some smoke down here too. I had to like green stuff some stuff in there. So let's just get all of that. Back here. Just make sure we get kind of the bottom of that, but we'll paint it with a smoky type color. Okay. And now we can move on to the gold. I think it's probably dry enough. It's pretty dry here. So we can use this Army Painter bright gold, or we can do what we usually do and do like the brassy brass. I think we're gonna do this bright gold from Army Painter. It goes on a little thin though, so kind of have to see how it goes. Ooh, let's put that there. So let's just load up our brush a bit here. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I got a phone call and then all of a sudden it stopped recording. But we're gonna go into the gold here. We're using this Army Painter bright gold. And we're gonna see how it goes on. So far it looks pretty transparent, which is not what I want. So we're gonna cancel that. I don't like the Army Painter paints. They don't go on very well. We're going brassy brass, game color, Vallejo. The Army Painter paints go on so thin. They're really hard to work with in my experience. So we're gonna go with this brass color from, oops, be a little careful here because this thing's still wet. Just give that to there so it has something to focus on, and then you can already see it's already going on better. Probably have to do a couple coats because of the overspill. Which is a little unfortunate. Like I painted around there. Oop. There. Kind of rotate it here for side now. having some trouble getting the paint off that brush here to get onto this model. It was cleaned, so that shouldn't be the problem. I don't know if it's my brush or if it's the paint or if it's the model, but we're gonna keep working through it here. Gotta kind of turn it weird to get those little areas. Let's get the helmet. Let me get it on. Stand to keep hitting parts that I don't want to snap, so this will give me a better grip on it too. If anyone has any tips for filming with the iPhone 13, let me know if they can change it to focus up front instead of what's in the back. Because I think that's the problem right now, is trying to focus on everything in the background. That's what's messing everything up. It's like the first model I can really get in there and get the eye with. Just working around the eyes really fast. Getting that as good as we can. Having this nice sharp brush right now is really helpful into getting into these areas. And so we're gonna wrap up the helmet really fast. Basically what I'm doing is just anchoring my hand to the model. And getting in there as best I can to keep it steady. Just try to keep it smooth. There's definitely a spot that I missed with the blue, but we'll get that in a bit. Right now we're focusing on the gold. Okay. Clean that off. The brush is getting a little gross. We can take some of the contrast here, the blue, and get that into the area right here where we missed. Okay. Now we get the brass back on our brush. Get it all nice and loaded up. And then we just continue on painting all of the gold on the model. Just there. Get around the wrist here. Same thing here, we didn't get the wrist on this side. There we go. Now to the belt. Got the belt now. Now we gotta get the stripes on the side of the pants here. Which, you know, helps if you have a steady hand for, but you all know I don't. Just get right here. Get the shin guard. The back of the shoe. Just the part that goes into there, and then we're good. And we gotta get this one. We're doing a lot better on. Get this one. And get the boot. Armor here. Here we go. Now there's just some blue cleanup that we have to do, so we'll just take the one that we have on our palette here and then just go over these areas that are, you know, too dark. I mean, they still have white showing. Just go in there, do some cleanup here. All right. Now let's take some medium sea gray for the smoke here. Just kind of lightly brush that on there with our brush. And then we'll take our black and paint our base like we normally do. Just get this base all covered in black. Probably get some more black on there because this is old black paint that I'm using right here. Get that covered. Still painting. And almost there. Okay. Let me clean that off. Let me give it a little bit of a second or two to dry. Actually, I'm gonna keep this out. And then you can blow on it. It works, I promise. Get some of our medium sea gray again. Just to kind of lightly brush over the base here. Keep grabbing it. It's a lot drier on the outside here than it is towards the middle of the paint there, so just be aware of that when you're painting over here. There. And there we have Nova for our Marvel Crisis Protocol. As always, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you on the next one.